So Alyssa, my name's Mary. I got your therapy referral from Rebecca. She said that you were hoping to switch therapists, and I read about your case here at Penn Foundation, and I know a little bit of your history. I'd like to hear it in your own words. Do you want to start by telling me about Kamir?
How do you know about Kamir?
So Rebecca told me that you have a fiance and that he means a lot to you, but I read that he's incarcerated. That must be really difficult.
Very difficult.
Do you want to tell me about that, what your experience has been?
It's been a lot. I mean, mixed emotions. I mean, he's incarcerated. Can't call him, talk to him whenever I want. Sometimes when they're on lockdown, they go 5 days without speaking to him. I inherit his son, so that's another responsibility, which I love him anyways. That's my child. No one can tell me differently.
Sure.
It's just hard to know that I can't do anything for him while he's incarcerated. And it hurts the fact that like he's in this process where, I mean, it's taking too long. I mean, it shouldn't take up to 2.5 years just to even get him to just go into an interview and speak about his case. Like, I just think it's crazy.
Yeah, no, that length of time for an appeal would be very frustrating, I can imagine. So you mentioned his son. Is it just you that takes care of him? Who's supporting Alyssa?
So his grandparents, well, he just moved into with his paternal grandmother now. So he lives there, but he bounces to my house too. It's like motion sense, it's okay. So he's with me a lot too. I help with the support of clothes or anything else he needs in that nature. I help him go see his dad all the time, communicate with him. I keep that communication open. Since when he was living with maternal grandmother, he hasn't seen him in lots of years. So it's sad. And actually, Father's Day was the first time he spent a holiday with his son. So
Yeah. So I'm sure that was a really big deal.
Yes.
And I commend you for keeping that communication open with him and making sure that that bridge is mended, after those years. So your fiance is incarcerated.
Yep.
Do you work? Do you go to school?
I do. I'm full-time work at Children and Youth, and then I also have a full-time master's program.
Wow. So that's a stressful job. Can be very difficult. How do you, ease your stress? How do you relax in your free time?
I don't have free time. I have a 3-year-old too.
Wow. You have a lot on your plate.
Yes, mental breakdowns, lots.
Yeah. So what can we do? Have you worried or thought about, your self-care or how to ease that mental load?
No, not really. I look at it as like, I really want to get this done. I mean, I have the supports now, but who knows, I'm going to have them down the line.
Right.
I mean, I never had the supports, but now I do. So why not use them until it's 2 years? So I'm going to try and do 2 years full time just because I don't want to go 3 years, 4 years.
Right. Okay. So maybe if you're open to it, we could look into supports that we can set up for those 2 years.
Right.
Whether that be maybe tutoring at school if you feel like you're struggling, or maybe setting up after school daycare for your daughter, if that's something you're open to. I just worry about your mental load and making sure that someone's looking out for you. I think it's really important, and you're taking care of a lot of people. I want to make sure that you're taken care of too.
Yeah.
What would you say your strengths are? I've heard a lot of mental load and stress. What are your best qualities?
I think my individual one is realizing I have a lot of stuff on my plate, but also taking care of that. I mean, I know it's a lot, and plus taking care of my daughter, that's my main priority, of course.
Okay. Yeah. So I hear that you're aware of the mental load, which is strength, would you say?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to make sure I have that correct. Okay. So with your schedule, do you feel like you have the ability, if we meet weekly, to work on this together?
Well, I work 9 to 5, so it either has to be Zoom or after my classes on Saturday.
Okay.
That's about it, if you're here on campus.
Okay. Yeah, we can definitely talk about that. I just want to make sure that, we set up a schedule so it never gets lost.
Right.
The importance of having this time to kind of share that mental load and pass it off to me so we can work on it together.
Yeah.
So I wanna make sure that even if it is Zoom, that we always have time for Alyssa,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So I think for today, I've learned a lot about how I can help you, and we can schedule moving forward a good time for you to share that mental load. Does that sound good?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Awesome.
Thanks.